Welcome back to this new tutorial. Today I want to show you a geometry node setup that allows you to instantly turn any curve into a rope. Let me show you. Okay, so let's start with this fresh Blender scene, and first of all I'm going to delete everything in this default scene as we're not going to use it. And I want to switch to the geometry nodes workspace. We're not going to use the spreadsheet, so let's just close it up. And we need a curve to work with, so let's press Shift A and bring in a basic Bezier curve. With it selected, let's also create a new geometry node 3, and I'm just gonna rename it to curve to rope. So that's what we're gonna work with today, and first of all we want to turn this curve that we have into a spiral. And this is actually quite easy to do, so let me show you. First of all we want to add in a set position node, which allows us to set the position of each individual point along the curve. And in order to do this properly, we need some information about the individual points. So first of all we need the normal. So let's add in a normal node, and we also need the curve tangent. We can't just plug them into the set position node, because first of all we want to take the normal and use it together with a vector rotate node. Make sure that the normal is plugged into the vector, and we want to use the curve tangent as the axis. So now I can plug this into the offset, and if you zoom out you can see that the curve has moved. This is way too intense, so let's adjust this by bringing in a vector math node. Bring it right here and change it from add to scale. So now we can adjust the intensity of this. And I'm just going to bring it down to 0.05, and now we have just a slight offset on our curve. And we can already play around with this angle value, which rotates the curve around itself. You can see it a bit better if I go into side view, that I can now rotate this curve along itself. Now in order to turn this into a spiral, we don't want each point on the curve to have the same rotation. To achieve this, we simply need to bring in a spline parameter node and use this length output, so we get an individual value for each point along the curve. The default length is probably too small, so let's also bring in a math node and change it from add to multiply, so we can increase this a bit. But even if I do this, you can see that it doesn't spiral up. This is because our curve doesn't have enough resolution. If I tab into edit mode, you can see that we only have 2 points along this curve, which isn't enough. So let's increase this resolution by going to the beginning of our group input node, and I want to bring in a resample curve node. This allows us to adjust the resolution of our curve, and I'm going to switch it from count to length, and let's just bring it down to 0.01. So we have a bit more resolution on our curve, and we get this nice spiral. We already have a few values that we can customize. So the first one is this multiply, which gives us the frequency, and we also have this scale, which gives us the distance from the center. So now in order to turn this into a rope, we need 3 of those individual spirals. Instead of doing the same thing 3 times, we can simply turn this into a node group. So let's select everything except this resample curve node and press Ctrl G to turn it into a node group. You can now either use the tab key to enter and exit this node group, or you can use this button up here to exit and this button right here to enter it. So let's just quickly reorganize this, and I'm gonna rename the group to spiral. And before we duplicate this 3 times, we need an option to offset the individual curves. So let's go back into the group, go to this multiply node, which gives us the frequency, and change it from multiply to multiply add. Now we have this addend that allows us to give a nice offset to this curve. With this setup, let's connect everything that we need to control with this group input. So first of all, I want to add this scale, which is the distance from the center. And we can also rename this if I press N to open up the side panel and double click on the scale. So let's just call this distance from center. Then also add this multiply value, then rename it to frequency. And finally, we also need this addend, which is going to be the offset. So once more, let's exit the group, and now we can duplicate this, reconnect it, and then add in a join geometry node to combine the two. Now let's set the offset on the first one to 0. And if I now play around with the offset of the second one, you can see that it turns around, and at a value of around 6.3, they perfectly overlap. This isn't a coincidence, because this is exactly the value of 2 times p. Since we want to duplicate it 3 times, we're just going to divide it by 3. Now we have this perfect offset, then let's duplicate it one more time. Also connect it to the joint geometry and just duplicate this value. So now they are all perfectly offset from each other. Alright, so this starts to look good, and we want to control the distance and the frequency for all of those spirals together. So let's just connect them up with the group input. So plug the first one into the distance and the second one into the frequency, and then also connect them up with the other 2 spirals. So now we can quickly adjust the frequency and the distance from the center directly from the modifier options. I also want to connect the length, which is our resolution, so we can adjust it right here. And I'm going to open up the side panel with the shortcut N and rename the length to resolution. Okay, so finally we also need to add some thickness to our rope, and we're going to do this in the very end with a curve to mesh node. Plug this in here, then we also need a profile curve, so I'm going to add in a curve circle. We don't need this high resolution, so let's bring it down to 8. Plug it into the profile curve, and by default the radius is way too high, so let's bring it down to 0.01, which is much closer to what we need. I also want to control this radius from the geometry node options, so let's bring in another group input and add an extra input for the radius. Now I can control this from right here. Before we continue, I just quickly wanted to mention that you can download all of my 3D assets I ever created completely for free from my Blender Kit profile. I'm gonna put the link to this in the video description. Additionally, you'll also get a 10% discount to a premium Blender Kit subscription, which will give you access to even more 3D models, materials, and other assets. But all of my models are completely free. If you are interested, check the link in the video description. But now let's continue with the tutorial. Nice, so now our rope generator is basically done, but we also want to add a material, so let's open up a new window and switch this to the shader editor. Let's give it a new shader. I'm just gonna call it rope and make it completely red so we can see it, and switch to the shader editor. As you can see, currently no material is applied to this object, so let's go back to the geometry node editor and in the very end add in a set material node. If I select the rope material right here, you can see that we now have our shader applied. If you take a close look at a real rope, you can see that each of those individual strands is divided into even smaller strands. And we want to simulate this in our shader. Unfortunately, this is quite hard to do in the shader directly, so we want to help it a bit with the geometry node options. And for this, we're going to create an attribute that we can use in the shader. We're going to do this right here after the curve circle. So let's add in a store named attribute node, and I'm just going to call this stripes. Float and point is okay, and for the input we want to use the index. This index is going to give us a value for each of those points along the circle. So it's going to go from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So let's just plug this into the value and then go back into the shader editor so we can take a look at it. So I want to add in an attribute node and add in the name stripes. So now we can take a look at this and you can see that we get a value of 0 on the first points and so on. Now this doesn't really help us yet, but if we go after the index and add in a math node, we can change it from add to modulo and give it a value of 2. So now we get alternating values on each point. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 and so on. And if we take a look at this, you can see that this gives us those nice stripes along the curve. So this is the final node setup in the geometry node editor. And this is what's inside the spiral node group. Now let's go into the shader editor, and I actually want to add even more stripes. So after the stripes attribute, we want to add in another math node, change it from add to ping pong, and with a value of 0.5 we can duplicate those stripes. I also want to make it a bit more smooth, so let's duplicate it one more time and switch it from ping pong to power. Now you can play around with this exponent in order to make the stripes a bit more smooth. Now in order to use them with our shader, I first want to bring in a color ramp node and make the first color this slightly yellow color. Then press Ctrl C to copy it, go to the next stop, Ctrl V to paste it, and I just want to make it a little bit darker. Then plug this into the principal BSDF. Let's take a look at this, and we already have those nice stripes, but we can also use this in combination with a bump node. So let's plug this into the height of a bump node and then connect this with the normal. By default this is way too strong, so let's bring down the distance to 0.002. And I think I also want to invert the direction so we get those nice bumps along our curve. Maybe make it just a bit stronger. And finally, I also want to adjust the roughness. And for this, we're going to use a noise texture. Let's quickly take a look at this. And if I increase the scale, you can see that this is completely distorted. So let's plug in a texture coordinate node and just change it from generated to object so we get a nicer noise. Plug the factor into the roughness, and I think now our rope looks quite nice. In order to make it just a little bit more fuzzy, I can also go into the sheen options and just slightly bring up the weight. And here's the final node setup of the rope shader. Okay, so finally let me show you how we can apply this to any other curve as well. So let's go back to layout. I'm just gonna hide this Bezier curve, and instead I'm gonna add in a monkey head, and I want to wrap this with a rope. So first let's add a subdivision surface modifier. Let's shade it smooth, and in order to wrap this with a curve, I want to use a plugin that is pre-installed with Blender. So go to the preferences, and under get extensions, make sure that you have the extra curve objects plugin enabled. Once you have it installed, make sure that you have the monkey selected, press Shift A, and on the curve we can go to knots and choose Spiro Fit. This allows us to wrap the selected mesh with a curve, and we can further customize it if I open up this menu in the bottom left corner. First let's increase the resolution, and I think I'm gonna go up all the way to 100, and then also increase the number of spires so we can nicely wrap our monkey head. Once this is ready, let's also give it a slight offset so that it doesn't intersect with the mesh. And I think I'm just going to bring this up to 0.015, which is giving us a very slight offset along the curve. Now in order to turn this into a rope, let's add a modifier and choose geometry nodes. And from this drop down, you can now select the curve to rope option. The default settings don't really work in this case, so let's play around with the radius first, make it way smaller, then also adjust the distance from the curve, and maybe increase the frequency just a little bit. So this is how easy we can now turn any curve into a rope. Let's take a look at this in shaded view and also give the monkey a material so we can see it a bit better. And I think this looks really nice. And that's it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to download my finished project file, you can do so by following the link in the video description. Thank you very much for watching. I am Nick, and see you in the next one.